Welcome to Gary's Hobby Studio. In this video, I'm going to be going over Zoneminder. It is security software. It's the first time I've played with any kind of security software because I have like a couple of security cameras that I'd like to get set up around my place. Not exactly sure how I'm going to do it or if I'm going to go with Blue Iris. I want to compare the features. I want to see if I can also try it out for free. I think I have the software downloaded, but I want to check on their site because I don't want to pay for it right away. I mean, even if it's only one cam, it's just going to test because I have one cam set up right here. So with all that said, let's go ahead and get started. Yes, okay. So as you can see here, I have it set up. I had to change the IP address because for some reason it changed on the camera. I'll have to figure out how to set it up so that it doesn't change its IPs. Probably have to set them statically on the actual devices themselves. Plus, I also have to figure out how to change the default password. Because like I said, it's just for testing. It's not like it's running or anything. So anyways, so basically here's the software. Camera's over here. And if I click on monitor, and as you can see, now you can see the camera to the side of me. It detects what it's doing. It's saying alarm, and it's capturing it. It's capturing it about, 8-9 frames per second, which really for security software, it's not that bad. There is a script or a config file, which I haven't played with that either because I've been busy with all kinds of other things. There'll probably be a second update to this, and like I said, if I can figure out, if I can test out Blue Iris for, like I said, free, even if it's only for one cam, which is fine, I want to try it out too and see. But you can see that it's like recording, and if we go back, yeah, it's saying 88 events because I've played around with it and everything. As long as this camera is detecting movement, it'll continue to do it. Now if I turn it away and then go back to monitor, and it's still going to see that. Turn it a little bit more. There we go. And let's see if it'll stop. Okay, now it's idle because it doesn't detect any movement. Everything's just there. Yeah, which is really cool because this way here it'll save hard drive space that if it doesn't record anything unless it detects movement, which isn't bad. I'm pretty much going to be probably using this with an actual like storage network. I'll probably also have to figure out how to export the videos. Let's see if we can find that. There's console, options, config, API, servers, storage. That's using 0 bytes. Okay. At least I can add new storage to it. And this runs on Debian. I wish Blue Iris did, but it actually didn't. Title. The documentation just is not. I mean, I'll have to look at it because I haven't really. Like, I just wanted to get it set up and at least get it configured. But I have the web page to configure the FOSS cams, which are by Amcrest. Yeah, see, and there's like a bunch of different settings, which I have no idea what all these do. And then there's images, and it's profile quality, network. And then email. I'm assuming that if something triggers, hello, an alarm has been detected. Yeah, it'll email you if you want to do that. And then upload X10. Let's see. Groups. not sure what groups does. Audit and events. Yeah, it's really weird. It doesn't really say about how to export. Because if I have limited space, I mean, I can get an external hard drive, see if I can compress it with Handbrake, and see if I can make the video file smaller. That way, I can store it on an external drive. It won't take up as much space, and I can record, you know, save more videos, and that way it's not going to clog up the storage space for the actual thing. I mean, I'm going to have quite a few SANs running TrueNAS for iSCSI targets, and I'll have to see how you add that. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at that. Storage, add a new storage. Path, URL, server, remote, no specific, type local. You know, this may be a little bit harder than my skill level, which, I mean, I don't do too bad with Linux stuff, especially if I can find a decent enough guide to walk me through it, because I don't know everything about Linux. So I'm probably going to look at Blue Iris, and I know Blue Iris costs money to be able to control more than so many cams. Unless, like I said, unless I can find some decent documentation for this, which there will probably be a part 2 to this if I can. But the ease of installation really isn't that bad if you follow the and I'll post the links to the one for the FOSS cams and the actual installer for version 1.34 for Debian Buster. Because getting it installed really wasn't that bad. I mean, I had some problems before with the configuration. Then I forgot the passwords because, you know, this test network is just something I don't really, you know, use all that much. I know the passwords for my main network because obviously I use it a lot. But like I said, it's not bad software. I mean, you know, because the one for the FOSS cams tells you how to set up the cameras, which is nice. I really like that. Just, it's like, I don't know if there's really documentation. I mean, there should be somewhere. Let's see, this is for the, here's their documentation. This page is obsolete and is marked for deletion. Please refer to readthedocs.org. Yeah, I mean, I'll have to look into this. As a matter of fact, let's see. User guide. Adding monitors. Okay, so you give it a name. I think I just gave it... Let's go back to that. And then you click on this so you can edit it. Okay. Yeah, I just gave it a, like I said, I just gave it a simple name just because I, you know, and the source, simple, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, so basically, you know, it's, I just have to read this documentation on it. It'd be nice if I could just get it as a PDF, and then that way I can just take it with me. Camera we're using is FOSSCAM, and it gives an example. What version is this? Because I... Source. Yeah, see, I don't know what version they have, but if you... look at that documentation, it's like it's for either an older version or a newer version. Because see, it has source path there, then method, and it's not the same as the one that I have, but mine is the newest one because we go back to this one here. Oh, nope, that's the wrong. We have to go back. Let's open this in a new tab. Go back one more page. 2 more pages actually, because see, here is for Debian Buster 1.34. This is for 64-bit with Zoneminder 132, the easy way, but that's for Debian 9. And here's 130. Yeah, it's really weird that the way they have it. Yeah, that's probably for an older guide. I'm betting any money. So it's gonna take me fumbling around with it, and so that's why, like I said, there'll probably be a part 2 on this once I can figure out. Let's see. Click on storage, new storage, using storage. It could be anything. Path, string path, videos. URL, yeah, that's probably for that other one. Instead of local, it's for S3, which is out onto the thing, which I don't like that. That's what, like I said, I don't know how well this is going to work for me. Like I said, I'll play around with it, see what I can do with it. It's definitely on its own separate network, so I'll have to figure out how to add storage and make it iSCSI and figure out how to do it. So like I said, it'll be a while probably before I can get to that one. While I'm at it, at least we can see if I can test it out. Note management, video security. Yeah, see, the light version's only 1, and it's that there for another $35. You know, you can get 64 cameras. License. 15-day demo period is offered. Okay. So let's see if we can just, I don't want to download it. Newer. Now the analog capture card, because I saw the same thing with the Zoneminder, that's if you're using like USB or some other type of cameras. Network cameras, you shouldn't need it. Yeah, because it says analog capture card with direct show drivers. So yeah, I'm gonna have to spin up a Windows 10 VM and test this out, or maybe a Windows 2016. Because Windows 2016 is pretty stable, because I use it on as a couple of VMs on my server, and it's actually pretty stable. I don't have too much trouble with it. I do like Debian better for servers, because I have my Unify controller is Debian, and it works really good. Extension of support. Maintenance. But yeah, I'll have to spin this up and see, because the one thing I wanted to do is like be able to track, like if somebody's moving, I'd like for it to track, because the camera will turn. As a matter of fact, let me go to this here, and you can see this is a control for it, and I can bring it down. And let's see, turn it back this way. And as you can see my server rack there, my chair. And then now you can see the side shot of this fugly mug. Let's see. Oh, that's infrared. You know, I'd like to try that out. Just to see what it's like. Hang on 1 second. Oh, nice. That's actually really awesome. And I disappear. But yeah, I mean, these are definitely something that I definitely want to get set up in my house, around my house, to for security and other things. I've had some, not lately. The two neighbors that were really causing me problems no longer live around here, thank God. Because I was calling the township quite a bit. But this, so far, I mean, the camera's fine. The software is the thing, because, you know, like I said, I'll have to read the documentation. There'll be a second one. Because the nice thing is about this laptop that I have Proxmox running on, I can actually, you know, leave the VM, spin it up, and it doesn't require GPU pass-through. So let me get off of this, go back to this console. But, you know, the nice thing about this software is it's free. It doesn't cost anything. If I can figure out, how to put the text from the one thing into whatever file it needs so that it can control the movement of the camera, which would be nice. That would be great. But I still want to try Blue Iris, just so that I can see, because like I said, whichever one's easier to configure, which would probably be the Windows one, that's probably the one I'm going to go with. I'm more than likely, like I said, I'm probably going to spin up a Windows 2016 Server 2016 VM on this, so that I can just install the software. The Windows servers, like I said, 2016 isn't that bad. Although for some reason my workplace, I'm not saying that they crash, but for some reason some of them, and I don't know if it's just the people out there just put them in weird places or what, or it's the hardware or something. Some of the servers I've had to go in and like restart certain services because for some reason they just decide to shut off. Don't know why. I mean, mine run 24/7, although I will say it's only me and the wife pounding the crap out of them, not, you know, like people in each office where we have offices that have servers. It's not like we have that many people hitting my servers, but hey, you know, but the weird thing is I don't think we've ever had to do that at the actual corporate office where I'm at. But like I said, again, you know, I don't know about how Windows works. I mean, I know some things about it, but not everything as to why that happens. I remember 2008 server that I had. That I would have to go and restart like DHCP and stuff like that every so often. But 2016 it's been stable as all get out. And I think the ones in my company that are 2016 or 2019, no, I've had to go into a couple in different offices that have 2019. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know if we have them spec to light hardware wise or what. But so that's Zoneminder. Believe me, I had a lot of problems with it. It's not bad software. You know, just looking at it, I mean, it's not it's not bad software. It's going to take a little bit of skill. If I was going to recommend software for somebody to do security cameras, especially if they have like any of these FOSS cams or anything of the kind, like a good example, and I'm also tempted to buy those too. Well, I don't know how I'm going to get them wired up, but that's a whole other thing there. Let me switch this. Hang on a second. For most people, like if I was going to set up something for, say, and I'm trying to think of a person that I know that could do it that wouldn't have to hound me so much. I know my family and her family. Ugh. Yeah. Let's see. I would probably recommend the Blue Iris option just because I know you have to pay for it. Me, I'm cheap. I'd like to get away with as cheap as possible. Yeah, if I was going to recommend software for somebody to do this, I would probably tell them to bite the bullet, spend the money, get the Blue Iris software. You can do up to 64 cams. This one, the Zoneminder, you could probably do, I want to say the same, maybe more, depending. I'd have to look into the maximum amount of cameras, which will be in the documentation, hopefully. I would not recommend that to somebody that, like I said, I definitely wouldn't recommend it to my family. If you're like me, you can Google search. Definitely look into Zoneminder because, like I said, it might be cheaper. It's going to take a little work. It's going to take a little tinkering to get the way you want it to work. Especially if you're going to have like external storage, which is because, like I said, I'm going to run this as a VM. And since it's on Proxmox there, I can export it. Hopefully I can import it. I'll have to see. To my main thing, because that way then I can like segment it, you know, once I get a decent quality enough port fiber switch, and then that way I can just write right to it. It'll be stored there, and then hopefully I can figure out how to, you know, like copy the video files off to keep. That way I don't have to run as big a system. Like instead of, you know, having like, you know, 4 10 terabyte hard drives, I could have 4 maybe 2 terabyte hard drives for 8 terabytes. If that stores maybe, we'll say 31, 32 days of video footage at 1080p or, you know, whatever, I can also then, like, you know, archive that, and that way, you know, I know that it, like every 30 days I have to export all the videos to clean it off so that I can record new. But yeah, I would definitely recommend the Blue Iris software to most, like, I wouldn't even recommend the Blue Iris software to my family. My family doesn't pay me enough money for this because I do everything for my family for free. But yeah, I would definitely look into that. I know we had Blue Iris at work. Yeah, but they'll probably keep the license for that. I was thinking maybe I could get their license, but it probably has already expired and all that stuff because I know they bought a different networking video system for there. But that's pretty much Zoneminder. Like I said, there'll be a part 2 because, like I said, I want to try to see about configuring external storage for it. I don't think that 24-port 10100 switch would be the best. I might have to look into, which would save me, I mean, it would cost me money, but it would save me money. I'll probably look into a 24-port PoE switch, probably the Gen 2 of Ubiquiti. That way I can do all the Ethernet ports, or you know, connect however many cameras I want to that hardwired. Maybe get an inexpensive. access point, and that way I can just separate the traffic from, because I do have one of these cameras wireless. So, but that's pretty much it. I also want to say that I will be starting a new project. And this project is going to be, I'm redoing the floor in my server room. I'll post a link to whichever video that has the one where you can actually see the floor and I talk about the floor. Over here where I keep my air compressor so that I can do air brushing and stuff like that, it's also sagged. I don't think it got wet. I don't know if it's the stuff just wasn't spaced right, or God only knows. But it's kind of sunk down in two. And so I'm going to attempt to cut wood and fix the floor myself, which will be entertaining. May try to get video shots of me actually, fixing it. But it's going to be segments, just because of the fact that I'm, like the first phase is I'm still getting some of the tools and stuff. The first phase is trying to figure out how the hell I'm going to get everything out of here to do it. What may help with that is if the wood framing isn't rotted, because I know this basement is flooded probably a lot before me and my wife moved in here, because it was her grandfather's or her grandparents. I know it's flooded a few times while we've been here from rain because of one of my neighbors. That's a whole other story. And the other is that the water meter broke a couple of times because they changed it. They put in a piece of shit. Sorry I said shit. I'm not sorry, really. And then they replaced it with the same thing. And then when they finally replaced it with a good one, the guy that came in from the water company and goes, "Oh yeah, we stopped using those 2 years ago." And I said to him, "Yeah, you put that in 2 years ago after the first one broke." And he just was quiet after that point. Never said a word after that other than, "Okay, I'm done. See ya." Yeah. And I know why. The water company bought a whole bunch of those and they wanted to use those up. Well, it cost them money because they had to repair my bathroom floor because it was particle board. Once it got wet, it sank. Believe me, that was like walking on a sponge every day. Well, this one here, over here by the closet, has the exact same thing. It's sunk in because it got wet because I had a jug of distilled water for painting. Somehow I punctured a hole in it. Don't know how that happened. And most of it leaked out and it got the floor wet and now it's sagging. So I got to get rid of, I got to get it fixed because I'm just afraid that everything's just going to be nuts. And I also have to figure, and I want to say I think I know if I cut certain type wood and brace it between the joists of the floor, that and put so many, that should help strengthen it and help hold weight. I'll have to look into that. But anyways, that's pretty much the Zoneminder, and like I said, I'll probably set up a thing and do Blue Iris. I don't know when that's going to happen because it's probably starting this weekend. I'm going to be starting to pack up and move things, and like I said, I'll keep you guys that with the portable camcorder. I'll take video and stuff like that and show you the progress, and if you want to follow along, go ahead. If you don't, I totally understand it. And as I always like to say, have a good day, and stay safe, and don't be afraid to experiment with things, because that's the only way you're going to learn.